So those are our core values and principles. eBay is the world's largest marketplace. What I will remind you that, for those of you who don't know, we never touch the items. We have no manufacturing plants, no warehouses, no distribution centers. We are simply a technology platform that connects the buyer and the seller and does it safely and does it globally. Over half of eBay's business is outside the US. We have sites in 30 different countries, and 20% of the business is cross-border. So it's connecting the world, making the world smaller. PayPal, same thing, is in 120 countries, 19 currencies, and again, more than half of it's outside the US. So it's a cross-border. It's making the world smaller. And both of these are disruptive technologies. So Skype, the same thing. We are becoming a minority owner in Skype. But Skype's is the world's leading online communications platform. Again, truly global and truly unique. And all three are technology platforms, very little hard assets. And what we think about in the business is we are disruptive technologies. And at any given moment, we can be disrupted. So that's what fuels us. And our focus is on consumer behavior and how rapidly consumer behavior is shifting. Think about this. 10 years ago, when you went shopping, if you went up here into Embarcadero Center and went into one of the stores, 10 years ago and today, it's basically the same experience. You walk in, there's items on a rack, the clothes may be different, you pick what you want, you go to the cashier, you pull out the same credit card you had 10 years ago and you buy it. So commerce in the offline world hasn't changed much. Online, it's changed dramatically and it's just beginning. So 10 years ago, you might have had a big old desktop computer and browsed on eBay, and that was a cutting-edge experience. Today, you sit outside in a Starbucks on your laptop wirelessly going from website to website to website, searching on the net for information, for items, for goods. Shopping is very different. And by the way, you can pay with PayPal. 10 years ago, you had to send the money in an envelope. Very different. That change, we think, is just beginning. 3 years from now, you're going to walk into a store, and this is beginning to happen today. You're going to pull out your iPhone. You're going to look at what you want. You take a picture of it. You immediately see the technology recognizes what it is you're looking at. It shows you the price every place online. You decide, do I want to buy it here, not buy it here? Do I want to look at reviews? Do I want to store it and buy it later? So the lines of offline and online, the lines between devices and your PC and your TV are going to blur. And I think we're going to see consumer behavior change massively in the next 3 years with respect to commerce and payments and technology. So we're trying to embrace that. We're trying to enable that wherever we can. Let me talk for a minute about our approach to sustainability. As Kara said, when I became CEO about 18 months ago, I wanted to make this a core part of who we are because it is so aligned with our core values and principles. And we really approach it in three simple ways. One is our internal practices, and in some ways this is the easiest part. We're carbon neutral, so that's pretty easy to do. That's money, right? I just allocate money and say we will be carbon neutral. We've now set an emissions reduction goal, footprint reduction goal, 15% reduction by 2012 versus last year. And by the way, we're a technology company that's growing at 20% a year, so we think we'll be possibly twice as big at that period of time and have a level that was equivalent to 2008. Our data centers, our buildings, our latest building in San Jose, as Kara mentioned, is Gold LEED certified. It has 16,000 solar panels on it and produces almost 20% of our energy in that campus, which houses 2,000 people. Our data centers that we're building are state-of-the-art in terms of sustainability. We mentioned the green team, that the way things happen at eBay is we enable and empower. And so this green team formed, kind of self-formed, and it went from 40 people to now over 2,000. And they just submitted 600 ideas to me about how we can become more sustainable as a company and as a business. So the internal stuff, we're getting there. And it's perhaps, I think, the easiest part of being a responsible company. And we've got ways to go, but I'm pleased with the progress. The second way we do it is trying to leverage our business models as good global citizens. And examples of this would be eBay was the first company to put IPO shares in a foundation. And as a result, our foundation now has $40 to $50 million and gives grants to small communities and social entrepreneurs. GivingWorks is the program I talked about where any of the 25 million eBay sellers around the world can donate some of their proceeds to charities, and it's raised $165 million for charities over the last several years, $45 million this year alone. I was understanding one of the things that was announced at this conference was a Levi's Goodwill partnership. Goodwill is one of the largest recipients of GivingWorks, and they sell on eBay, and the proceeds go to Goodwill. So it's a virtuous cycle. We have our leaders here from World of Good, which is a site that authenticates artisans that are authentic goods and eco-friendly. Microplace was referenced earlier by the Calvert people, where we use PayPal's technology platform to do microloans to entrepreneurs in developing countries so they can begin to earn a living. So these are just some of the ways that our company is trying to leverage our assets to make a difference. And in every case, they came organically. It wasn't the CEO or the company setting the strategy. It was entrepreneurs coming with an idea of saying, we want to achieve this mission, this goal, and we think we can use some of your platform to do it. And the third and final way I'll comment on our sustainability is by and far the most important and also the hardest and most challenging, and that is the fact that our core businesses turn out to be relatively sustainable or green. That was not why Pierre created them the way he did, but think about eBay. eBay is the world's largest recycler or reuser. Over $100 billion of items have been reused through eBay. And it's made it really easy to reuse items. Again, Pierre didn't do that for green or sustainability reasons, but it turns out to be one of the virtuous parts of the eBay marketplace. And so we have sellers. Let me give you two examples. KNet Golf sells experienced golf balls. This is a guy in Canada that goes around golf courses getting used golf balls. He sells 10 million golf balls a year on eBay, a $20 million business, and those are 10 million new golf balls that aren't being made because of that. Discern Electronics sells used and refurbished consumer electronics. So the used cell phone doesn't end up in the dump, it ends up in someone's hands. We have auto parts retailers. We have many small entrepreneurs that have found ways to reuse items in addition to individuals. To give you some sense of the magnitude, if you were to take just the used leather handbags that have been sold on eBay over the last 3 years, they prevented the expenditure of about 95,000 tons of carbon, greenhouse gases, in the manufacturing. That's equivalent to about 2 million trees being planted. So the eBay marketplace offers a very powerful opportunity for goods to be reused. PayPal, and I remind you, there's no hard assets other than some data centers, right? It's a technology platform that's touching millions of people. PayPal, there's no branches at PayPal. Again, it enables people to pay and be paid without having to go to the bank or the ATM. Skype, same thing. You do a Skype video, you don't need to fly somewhere. So we've been blessed with these business models that are in many ways green in their very nature. And I feel a huge sense of responsibility at inheriting these to ensure that we continue to be out front, to innovate, to maintain that mantle. And we're just beginning. Frankly, we're just beginning.